the boy never expected. His brother, in order to spark his love for electrical devices, actually went out of his way in the city streets to secretly hold a light show for Jack. Although the two were nearly caught by the police in the end, Jack was still deeply shocked by the scene, but his brother said this was only the beginning. Although the current was still very weak, with the electrical catalog in his hands, they would surely create a brand new electrical era. However, in the blink of an eye, 4 years passed. The electrical era never arrived. His brother also went off to war and never returned. Others said he had already died in battle, and that catalog carrying their dreams disappeared along with his brother. Jack had long shed his youthful innocence and dreams, barely making a living by repairing various machines. His days were tight and plain. Meanwhile, on the other side, 15-year-old Alice, because of her clumsiness, was often scolded by her father. For Alice, salvation meant praying to the gods. That day, as usual, she came to worship. Unexpectedly, Jack happened to be resting inside, while repairing the phonograph in his hands, listened to Alice's prayers. But just as Jack was listening intently, Alice suddenly raised her voice. Jack was startled, accidentally pressing the phonograph switch. The sudden sound made Alice think the gods had manifested. Excited, she fell directly backward. Seeing this, Jack hurried out from the corner. Alice still thought the gods had descended. She immediately bowed her head in prayer, until Jack spoke. Alice realized she had misunderstood. The sound just now was not divine, but came from the phonograph. Knowing the truth, Alice felt embarrassed. Seeing she had never seen a phonograph, Jack showed Alice how it worked. When she heard her own voice, clearly coming out of the radio, it completely overturned Alice's understanding. After a brief chat, Jack gave her a business card with his shop information, though Alice teased Jack as strange. In her heart she remembered, this boy with unusual knowledge. Because of today's events, Alice was distracted all day. Her classmates were curious too, about what the phonograph looked like, and while they were chatting, a steam car stopped at Alice's house. Immediately afterward, a white-haired young man stepped down from the vehicle. Because Alice's sister Tana was engaged, the young master William came to congratulate. But when Tana saw William, her expression was tense. Alice wanted to greet the guest, but her father drove her out. It turned out William had come to collect debt. Alice's family's brewery had suffered losses for years, owing huge debts to the Mitsutomi store. William knew well, the brewery was failing. They couldn't possibly pay the money, so he made a condition, that Alice must marry him. As long as they agreed to the marriage, the loan would be deferred. Helplessly, her father agreed. At the same time, Alice learned from the servants that Mitsutomi was the top conglomerate in the steam engine industry, and William was the eldest son of the family. Meanwhile, on the other side, Alice's father had just agreed to the marriage, but William suddenly began rummaging through the room. His reason was that since he was now family, he was only searching through household belongings. Realizing something was wrong, Tana hurried upstairs and hid a box on herself. Suddenly, Alice's voice called from the storage room. Tana immediately went to check. It turned out Alice had accidentally broken something. Upon learning that Alice knew a repairman named Jack, Tana asked Alice to quickly take this electrical catalog and find Jack. Although Alice didn't understand what was happening, she still went immediately. But shortly after Alice left, William, who had searched for a long time, suddenly sensed something was wrong. William knew very well that Tana knew what he was looking for, yet after rummaging, he still found nothing. As William questioned Tana about where she had hidden it, a servant suddenly remembered. He had just seen Alice leave with a box. Meanwhile, Alice took a steam bus, and soon arrived at the address on the card, finding Jack's residence, but she accidentally tripped over clutter, and fainted on the spot. After settling Alice down, Jack and his friend began testing the slide projector, but to Jack's surprise, when Alice woke up, she thought she had died. She guiltily reflected that she should not always trouble her family, until the projector started, with the Buddha statue and warm light slowly appearing. Alice thought she had entered heaven, and even began worshipping the projected images. Her devout appearance suddenly gave Jack inspiration. He seemed to see the near future, stories being shown on a large screen, audiences moved to tears, everyone celebrating the arrival of a new era. Yet just as Jack was immersed in his fantasy, the power suddenly ran low, pulling him back to reality. And as Jack explained everything, William had already rushed over in a steam car. Regarding Jack and his partner's invention of the slide projector, Alice gave it the highest praise, believing it to be a groundbreaking electrical invention. But Jack understood it was merely entertainment, with no practical value. It was then that Alice suddenly remembered the task her sister had given her. When Jack saw the words electrical catalog on the book's cover, his mind was filled with questions, but before he could ask, an uninvited guest had already arrived.